Well, the cars are rolling out, and as we enter the 27th race of the 1996 NASCAR Winston Cup season, Terry Labonte an 81-point deficit from his teammate Jeff Gordon. Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt are 162 and 341 points back, and there you can see that as you look through 6 through 10, it's a pretty tight battle there from 6 through 10 on. Well, we prevail now and show you the last starting grid for a NASCAR Winston Cup race here at North Wilkesboro. It's Ted Musgrave on the pole and Jeff Gordon alongside. Back in the second row, Bobby Hamilton, a driver who has had some good starts recently, looking for his first NASCAR Winston Cup win, along with Mark Martin. Ernie Irvan, who made his return to NASCAR Winston Cup racing a year ago at this facility, starts alongside Johnny Benson. And in the next row, we see Derek Cope and Bobby Hillin.
And Cope, after not qualifying at Martinsville last week, great qualifying run here. Michael Walden and Rusty Wallace we see back in the row 5. And there we see Earnhardt, as we said, in row 6. Some Jeff Burton, Sterling Marlin.
Some great competition all back through the field. You see Terry Labonte, everybody's pointing towards that guy, and his little brother Bobby too will be a factor in this race.
So what are the keys to winning here, guys?
The keys are coming off that corner and not spinning the rear tires.
It takes a lot of patience. You have that horsepower at your command. Just press that accelerator, but boy, sometimes that can be your biggest enemy on this racetrack, because as Benny said, you spin those tires, then you start slipping and sliding worse and worse and worse. The first thing you know, you can't get off the corners.
You know, engine builders try to get as much horsepower as they can at each and every racetrack except this one. They still have that horsepower up at 8,000 RPMs, but at 6,500 RPMs, they detune the engines so that they try to keep the drivers from spinning those rear tires.
Let's take a look at those who failed to qualify for this final event here at North Wilkesboro. Ward Burton, Dick Trickle, and Gary Bradbury.
And it was sad to see anyone have to miss a race here.
Lots of onboard cameras for you here this afternoon. That, of course, is the roof cam on Dale Jarrett. We are set for the green flag here at North Wilkesboro for the 93rd time and final time for a NASCAR Winston Cup race. The green flag is waving and the Tyson Holly Farms 400 is underway. Just about a half a car length outside front row starter Jeff Gordon leads lap number 1. Bobby Hamilton now moves up to challenge Ted Musgrave for second. Hamilton has second place, Musgrave in third, Mark Martin fourth, and Ernie Irvan is in fifth position, and Hamilton looks like he's ready to challenge for the lead.
Taking a look. There comes Earnhardt trying to get on the inside of Michael Waltrip, trying to follow Rusty Wallace through that hole.
Inside.
And a battle for the lead.
-3. Clear all around.
That's a battle for third position and also a battle for the lead. Yes, Bobby Hamilton comes up inside of Jeff Gordon and takes the lead.
Boy, he got a great bite off the corner. That looks like that STP Pontiac is hooked up today.
I talked to Bobby Hamilton down in the garage area and I said, how's the car? He said, very, very good. I'll agree with him.
This is Mark Martin's roof cam. He's running in third position. Up ahead is Jeff Gordon and the leader, Bobby Hamilton. Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt continues to try to move up. You see he's gotten around the 21 of Michael Waltrip, still behind Rusty Wallace. Michael Waltrip trying to get inside of Bobby Hillin.
See Ted Musgrave and pole sitter extremely high up in 3 and 4.
Oh, they're close already. This is 8th and 9th. Rusty is 8th, Dale 9th. And looks like that Ted Musgrave is slipping back badly, huh?
Yes, it is. The car appears to be loose.
Like I said, his car was fast in qualifying. He hoped it would be good for the race, but it's definitely a different setup for the race than what you use in qualifying.
Slid back to 9th position, Ted Musgrave has. Now Earnhardt takes a look inside of Rusty Wallace at the end of the straightaway, takes the position easily.
Slides up, here comes Wallace trying back, but he can't do it. Earnhardt gets a good ride off the turn and takes off.
So Dale Earnhardt now up to 7th.
And look at Ernie Irvin. Irvin has closed right up on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon. Takes a look in that 28, the Howland car.
Irvin started in 5th place. His car's been good since they unloaded it here on Friday at the beginning of practice.
Once again, Ernie Irvin tries to work inside of Jeff Gordon. Didn't have the momentum build up there in the corner to take the position on the straightaway, and so Irvin continues to run in 3rd place. But how about Ted Musgrave? He's fallen back, Jerry.
Well, he has, Bob, and I talked to Howard Comstock, the crew chief, and Ted hasn't said anything to the team at all on the radio, but just from them watching, they could presume that the car may be a little bit loose getting into the corner, tight in the middle and loose off, and with the rains last night, that's a problem a lot of guys are going to have at least before the first pit stop here today.
Falling back to 10th position, and Sterling Marlin is trying to take that spot away from him. Ernie Irvin still working side by side of Jeff Gordon. He's going to get it. Ernie Irvin goes to 2nd.
Now he sets his eyes on that Pontiac.
And at the very same instant that was going on, Dale Earnhardt was passing Derek Cope, moved up into 6th place.
So 13 laps have been completed. Bobby Hamilton has put his STP Pontiac out front of Ernie Irvin, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, and now Dale Earnhardt, who has moved to 5th position. We'll be right back in just a moment. Green is back out at North Wilkesboro. The Tyson Holly Farms 400 underway again. Best battle on the racetrack for 3rd spot. Earnhardt wants it from Gordon. They go into the corner, wheel to wheel, and Earnhardt comes out with the spot. And Mark Martin now is going to try to pull up alongside Jeff.
And Gordon won't fight him too much. He's thinking of the big picture, those points. He doesn't want to get into any skirmish here in the early part of the race, so he'll let him go. He's already led a lap. Got him 5 bonus points, so he'll settle in there to a spot that's comfortable for him.
From Mark Martin's roof cam, you can see that he has indeed passed Jeff Gordon, and so Jeff falls back to 6th position. Already a donut on the side of the 1 car there, Rick Mast, as he and Joe Nemechek are wheel to wheel, side by side.
He hopes that's all the damage he'll have today when he leaves this racetrack as a wheel mark.
Jeff Bodine, whoa, gets a little loose and causes a traffic jam behind.
Something's wrong with his car.
Wrong with his car.
Yes, something is wrong with Jeff Bodine's car. And Bobby Hill's about to hit him again.
I think he's got a flat tire.
The left rear tire is flat, Ned, yes.
Good eyes. So Jeff Bodine has won this race 3 times, 89, 92, and 94, but he's into the pits early for an unscheduled stop. Look what happened there in turn 4.
Well, he was one of those drivers that made a pit stop during the caution. And you see apparently the tire goes down there. He gets a little bit crossways, gets hit, and right in the middle of all that traffic, he does a good job. And so does a lot of other race drivers do a good job there of keep from running over him.
So the work is already done on the QBC Ford, and Jeff Bodine is rolling once again. Meanwhile, up front, it is Bobby Hamilton leading Ernie Irvin, Dale Earnhardt now 3rd, and Jeff Gordon has repassed Mark Martin.
Yeah, Mark Martin going in the corner slow to just let Jeff Gordon go by. I thought for a moment that something had happened to Mark Martin's car, but he just was letting Jeff Gordon go.
Here's a Graham Field summary for you with the starting position of each driver in parentheses. Joe Nemechek is also in the pit area. He was involved in that little skirmish there with Jeff Bodine, maybe a tire rub or something.
Yeah, and he was one of those drivers who had made a pit stop during the caution too. As a matter of fact, the final few cars in the field, those that were running at the back of the pack, all stopped during that caution, as we see Morgan Shepherd making a pass here.
And the left side of Ken Schrader's car is showing some wheel marks too. They're all passing the pole sitter, Ted Musgrave, who is really struggling here in the early going. He's back, what, to about 17th?
Yes, and still losing spots. He's just having a tough time.
Jerry has more. Musgrave is just continuing to drop back, Jerry.
Bob, you're exactly right. Not exactly what they had hoped to have happen. You know, we talked about how green the racetrack was. Howard Comstock said the car is just so tight now they can't turn it. They were hoping the track would come to them in the first 30 laps, but we're almost pushing 40 laps now, and the track hasn't come to him, but the traffic has. He's being passed one by one. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Jerry, I'm up in Jeff Bodine's pit and looking at the tire, the flat tire that came off there, the left rear, and we can't find any problems. There were no punctures. They say the tire just went flat. All the valve stems are in place, so there's no problem there. They say the tire just went flat. They can't find a puncture. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Another strong qualifying run for Johnny Benson. He also drove in the Craftsman truck race here on Saturday. I talked to his crew. They said they learned a little bit from tire wear. Johnny's truck was great at the beginning of that race, but it got more loose as the race went along. They were hoping that wouldn't be the case today. They were going to make the Pennzoil Pontiac a little tighter before the race went on. But right now, Johnny's car is a little bit loose. That's what he's telling his crew.
They're running in 9th place at the moment.
Right ahead of Jeremy Mayfield, and here's a battle between Derek Pope and Jeff Gordon. And Pope moves into 5th, Jeff back to 6th. So after leading the early laps, Jeff Gordon finds himself dropping back, as now he's going to receive a challenge from Rusty Wallace.
This is from Kyle Petty's cars. He looks at Dale Jarrett and Jeff Green. That's Jeff Green driving the 29 Cartoon Network car.
This is the next to the last car. Kyle Petty is behind Jarrett there. Jarrett was the last one that didn't stop. Everybody behind him stopped, and they all have on new tires, and I'm sure that they're sitting there wondering, hey, we made a mistake, because every one of them now have passed him. John Kernan?
Well, Dale Jarrett told his crew chief Todd Parrott right before the green came back out, he said, hey, we should have pitted taken on 4 tires because this car is very, very loose. So yes, Ned, you're exactly right. They're second guessing themselves right now, saying they should have made a pit stop and changed tires.
Kyle Petty picks up the position on Jarrett.
By the way, Joe Nemechek and Jeff Bodine each lost 2 laps when they made their green flag pit stop.
Ricky Rudd, Wally Dallenbach. Here is Bobby Labonte and Darrell Waltrip, who took a champion's provisional to get in the race, but Darrell is picking up some spots out there.
Yeah, he has those fresh tires. He was one of those that made that pit stop, so he is really coming back up through the field. That was a very smart move.
Running
he was back near the pack of the field when the caution came out, so he just chose to come in and put on new tires.
Whoa.
Very smart.
Boy, some contact there between Dallenbach and Bobby Labonte.
Darrell Walter goes in right on the back bumper of Ricky Rudd's time machine. Look at that. Darrell Walter started 37th and is currently 17th.
So you can't pass on a short track? He's doing a great job of it. Nobody knows their way around this track better than Darrell Walker.
He's won 10 times on this track.
2070, later 28.
So Jeff Hammond right then told Darrell that he was running 2070, 20.70 seconds, and the leader was running 2080. So right now, Darrell Walter faster than the leader. John Kernan.
To Jeff Hammond earlier in the morning, and he said, you know, it really helped the fact that Darrell, even though he's won 10 times here and has all the experience here at this racetrack, that he ran the truck race on Saturdays, and we may have learned some things in the truck race that could help them today. And even though they started shotgun on the field, Jeff said, hey, this is a good car. We had it at Martinsville last week. We had the power steering problem, and that put us behind. We didn't get the chance to show how good the car was last week. We're going to show how good it is today.
Well, here's a whole gaggle of cars, a whole covey of them coming down the straightaway.
Yeah, you got the 23 and the 4 car. Both made pit stops during that caution. They have fresher tires, and they've caught these guys who are racing side by side with each other. Ooh, 3 abreast here. Sterling, you better back off. And he did.
Your tires.
Joe Nemechek going by the leader of the race, Bobby Hamilton, with those fresh tires. He is faster than Hamilton, so he has one of those laps back.
Look at Ernie Irvan, who's now come right up on the back bumper of Bobby Hamilton, first and second position here.
The 28 car, the Howland Texaco car, has been fast here for a long, long time. When Davey Allison drove that car here, it was a very fast race car.
.350 laps to go. 50 have been completed in the Tyson Holly Farms 400 as we say goodbye to Winston Cup Racing at North Wilkesboro.
We were running really good, and I ran over something, cut a tire, and coming off of turn 4 and barely hit the wall. I was sitting there, and I didn't go until they threw the flag because I knew that, you know, we were going to go a lap down, and so I sat there. I got trying to crank the car, got it cranked, and I sat there for a second, and he had the yellow flag in his hand. He dropped the flag, so I took off, and they didn't like it much, but that's what saved it for us, really. Going up there and tying Richard Petty's record for the most consecutive starts, and going up there and winning the pole, that was a special day. And then we were able to come back Sunday and win the race, and that was an awesome race for us, and probably the most memorable race I've ever run at North Wilkesboro. I was trying to run Rusty down, got caught up in a wreck there, and Jeff and I just barely made it through. Rusty didn't make it through, and then we beat Jeff out of the pits there for that last pit stop, and we were able to hold him off.
Terry Labonte has moved from 16th to 8th position, and take a look at his record here. In his 35 races, he has 4 wins, 14 top 5s, and an average finish of 9.3. We've had a change of leader as Ernie Irvan has passed Bobby Hamilton and taken over the top spot. Let's take a look at how it happened.
They come off the second corner. Ernie just drives it left, hits the accelerator, and powers by. Sign of a great handling race car. But right now, as Bob said, they are in some heavy, heavy traffic.
Johnny Benson is in the pits. Bill Weber.
Well, Johnny Benson ran 59 laps and now sits on pit road. A 4-tire change for the Pennzoil Pontiac and a chassis adjustment. They've got the right side on. Now they go around to the left. Several guys starting to drop back in the field, including Earnhardt now at this point, who clearly has one of the best cars he's been in quite a while. 4 tires on for Benson. Jack is away, and Johnny heads back out onto the track.
As the front of the field moves by, there you can see Earnhardt being challenged now by Rusty Wallace. Earnhardt moved up so quickly there in the opening laps, but now he is dropped back to 7th position. Rusty takes 6th. What's the situation with Dale, Doc?
Well, the concern we talked about with tires is starting to rear its head here on pit road. We're seeing some of the top teams say that in the spring they could go 75 laps, maybe 70 on the average. But this first pit stop today, the Goodyear people said in lap 60, the tires are going to go away big time, and you're going to be slipping and sliding, just hanging on. We're starting to see it happen even up front. The 43 car now beginning to slide a little bit. He, of course, has lost the lead, but look for pit stops at the first opportune time, the next 10 to 15 laps, and when the first leader comes, they'll all follow.
Well, their estimate was pretty accurate because we're on the 62nd lap now, and we are seeing some drivers slipping and sliding badly out there as we take a look at another Fram field summary. Ernie Irvan coming up on slower traffic. Now, Ernie, when he made his return here a year ago, led 30 laps, and he's back at the front again, about to put a lap on John Andretti.
Andretti is running in the 31st position.
And Mark Martin right now, the Valvoline Ford, might be the fastest car on the racetrack. Remember, he had fallen back to about 6th. He's worked his way back up to 3rd as Bobby Labonte, Kenny Schrader go by Michael Walker, the Citgo car.
Denny, I think Mark Martin just sat there and tried very hard not to abuse those tires in the early going, tried to keep a straight pattern around the racetrack, and I think it's paying off for him here right now.
Little different look to the 11 car there of Brett Bodine, former winner here at North Wilkesboro. And there's Lake Speed to the inside of Michael Waltrip. This is about 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. Look at Johnny Benson. He's got those new tires on there. Look at him go.
Feels so good.
The unfortunate thing is if the caution flag were to come out right now, then Benson would be a lap or so down.
Wally Dallenbach is up ahead. Wally also came in for a pit stop not too long ago, but those running up front have yet to come in for their pit stop, and we want to be here when they make them because it can definitely spell a good position on the track and a bad one. So we'll take a break and be right back. Back at North Wilkesboro, well, here are the pit stops we told you about. However, it's under caution. Let's go to Bill Weber first.
Mark Martin on pit road, under caution, right side tires, no signs of a chassis adjustment yet. This should be a 4-tire change in fuel. Jeff Gordon is also on pit road. Dale Jarrett is on pit road. Mark Martin sitting in the Valvoline Ford. They put on the left side. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett has left the back of pit road and is on his way. Now Martin leaves. He cuts off Terry Labonte, and Gordon is on his way as well.
Right front fender was bending on Bobby Hamilton's STP Pontiac. They took a 5-pound sledge, and let's go back to the Irvin pit where Bill is standing by.
Right side damage to the Haviland Ford. They've changed the right tires. Now they're going to hold Ernie Irvin on pit road. Larry McReynolds appeals to the Winston Cup official. Ernie did come down pit road earlier and continued on his way. Larry McReynolds lobbying for his cause, visibly upset. Irvin being held here on pit road. Now is allowed to go, and Larry McReynolds talks it over with the NASCAR official. Lost a lap.
Now, Bill, as you pointed out, he did, as soon as he came around, he didn't wait for the pace car to pick the field up. He came down pit road. His crew sent him on around, or at least he went on around and got blended back in the field and then came down pit road when they did, but the pits were not open when he came down the first time. So I assume that that's the concern among the officials there.
And of course, he is being stopped also down at the exit of the pit road while the field goes by. Well, we are under caution because of an incident here on the main straightaway involving Kyle Petty, and it ultimately involved Irvin and Hamilton. Let's take a look.
Well, this started back in turn 3, and Kyle Petty comes off the corner, nails the gas, gets sideways, goes down, gets in the 28 car and also the 43 car. We see Mark Martin way down on the inside. He avoids all the problems. But both the leaders are having a problem. Now this is going in turn 3, and you'll see the problem start here. There, we get a bump from the 8 car. He gets the car sideways. He might have had a flat tire because here when he got on the gas, the car just suddenly snaps sideways, and he goes around, and that's when the leaders made contact with Kyle Petty.
Kyle is back out on the track. Ernie Irvin, however, has come in for another stop as they continue to work on the left front of the Texaco Haviland Ford. We'll take a break and be right back with more from North Wilkesboro.
I would say my most memorable moment would be, I think it was in 1988 or 89. I was leading the race with 1 lap to go. Jeff Bodine was right behind me. I was going into turn 1. He bumped me to the rear end, sent me up the racetrack. He took the lead. And as we come down the back straightaway, I slid right back in behind him, and I bumped him in turn 3. And he shot him up the racetrack. I slid underneath him, won the race, and I looked up in the rearview mirror, and all I saw was people sliding all over the place. And then I come in victory lane, and some of Jeff's crew chiefs' wives hovered as I was pulling into victory lane, and they took their right hand and popped it through the window net at me. They were mad as a hornet. So there's been some real wild stuff happening in North Wilkesboro. I've won a lot of races there, and it's been a good track.
Everybody has his favorite memory about this great old racetrack. Rusty Wallace, in 25 races here, has 3 victories and has finished in the top 5 12 times. Jerry Punch.
Updating some of the pit stops down here. Bobby Hamilton's car number 43. The car was running a little bit hot. It's now down to 220 degrees. The right front fender was kicked out a little bit, but there was no problem with the towing. The 24 car took 1 round out in the right rear. The car was too loose. The 2 car, 4 tires, and no adjustments whatsoever on Rusty Wallace's Miller Ford. The green wave at North Wilkesboro. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
4 tires for Dale Earnhardt. Says his car is good. Was a little bit loose before they pitted. Mark Martin pitted 18.64 seconds, 4 tires, and leading the race. Ernie Irvin's car is not handling well. It's towed in a mile, they said. They're going to try and go to the next caution. Ernie is not up to speed, but he may not make it that far and may have to pit early. To John Kernan.
Dale Jarrett in, 4 tires, track bar adjustment. Remember, he was complaining the car was loose. Darrell Walter, 4 tires and a track bar, just a small one to try and tighten that car up a little bit. Rick Mast came in, 4 tires, no adjustments. He's currently running in the 6th spot.
Ernie Irvan, indeed, it cannot keep up with the rest of the field. He is very slow on the racetrack, but some good competition here. Look at Rick Mast working to the inside of Dale Earnhardt, and this is the battle for 5th position after starting in 28th. Good performance from Rick Mast.
And Darrell Walter right behind those 2 cars. Darrell started in 37th, currently in 7th spot.
And Wally Dallenbach just made an unscheduled pit stop. He had made a green flag pit stop before the caution came out. Was already 3 laps down.
Now both Ernie Irvan and Kyle Petty are just 1 lap down. 43 of Bobby Hamilton, who was also involved in that skirmish here on the front straightaway, is still on the lead lap. Here's Ricky Craven, Jeff Burton, Derry Cope, and others racing. Also Sterling Marlin there in the 4 car.
That's all 4 position, all in the lead lap. Again, there's a Fram field summary.
Easy for you to say.
Now these cars right now with their fresh tires on are running about 20 seconds a lap here, maybe just a little bit less. Sterling Marlin goes on the inside of Ricky Craven, takes that position away. That should be 10th.
There's that new look number 11 as he gets into the side of Ricky Craven. That's Brett Bodine, who won the spring race here in 1990.
Messed up his right front fender on that pretty gold car as he got in the left rear of Ricky Craven's car. And there goes Derek Cope under Darrell Walter. And so does Jeff Burton. Darrell said, man, let me back to the inside.
Darrell Walter hanging on to 9th position. Kenny Wallace, the 8 of Hut Strickland, Bobby Hillen, Ted Musgrave all battling in the back of the field. Round about 18th, 19th, 20th position on back.
There are 28 cars still remaining on the lead lap. A number of them, of course, lost laps during that little skirmish here on turn 4. And of course, a number of drivers had made green flag pit stops before the caution came out.
And we see Ted Musgrave, the pole sitter, the Family Channel Prime Star car, mired back in 27th spot.
Wow.
He's the next to the last car on the lead lap. Hut Strickland there in the car number 8. Would be the last car on the lead lap.
There's Wally Dallenbach, who has made a couple of unscheduled pit stops in the last few minutes, and the Circuit City car with Hut Strickland. Jeff Green, by the way, as Benny mentioned, driving that 29 car this week. Meanwhile, up front, Ernie Irvan loses another lap, and that will put him 2 down back in 32nd position. Mark Martin has the lead, Jeff Gordon 2nd.
And Rusty Wallace looks like he might be coming in that Miller Ford. Closes up on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon and looks about as racy as I've seen Rusty in the last couple of races.
Whoa! We got a problem between Robert Presley and Bobby Hillen. Neither go completely around, and no caution.
Wow. A tough break for Bobby Hillen because he's got fairly extensive damage to the right front.
Meanwhile, we continue to watch Rusty Wallace as he won 2nd position. Wallace, a 3-time winner at this racetrack, looks to the inside, headed down into corner number 3.
Here he goes. Here he comes. Look out, Jeff. He's right there.
And Jeff will back off, I'll bet, going into the turn. He won't fight it. Nope. Back off, let him have the position. Again, thinking of that big picture. The big picture, the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship.
Let's take a look at this incident up in the corner between Presley and Hillen.
Yeah, one of those situations where the car goes in the corner, the driver on the outside
gets hit with the one on the inside.
It is the one on the inside. Happens all the time. And I tell you what, that 33 car got hit right in the left front tire. Could have bent the steering on that automobile.
And John, tell us about Robert Presley.
Well, I just talked to Andy Petrie, who will become the owner of that team this week coming up. He tells me that the toe has been knocked out, so Robert's going to really have a handful out there. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Well, they're going to call Bobby Hillen on the pit road. Troy Selberg said no, he used to take a chance on wrecking a car and maybe injuring a driver. Said we really can't tell from here how bad the car is hurt. We're concerned about a tire rub in the right front, even though quite a bit of the fender is pulled away. So they are on the wall poised to bring the Jasper engines forward down pit road.
It sure looks a mess, and Ernie Irvin is in, Bill.
And Ernie Irvin has brought the Haviland Ford back to pit road. They're going to try and cut off the right front fender. They were held on pit road for too many men over the wall and then sent to the end of the longest line for pitting too soon. So it was a double whammy. They're going to try and cut the front fender off the 28 car and send Ernie back out. Back to Dr. Punch.
Most usable tool today has been a sledgehammer. Second time I've seen it used out here since in the pit road. They peel the right front fender away, change 2 right side tires, and Bobby Hillen's down and away.
Hillen goes back on the racetrack, but Ernie Irvin continues to sit there as they work on the car. On the racetrack, meanwhile, Rusty Wallace is coming to the front. He is about to challenge Mark Martin for the lead here on lap number 96. We are almost to the 1/4 mark here at North Wilkesboro, the Tyson Holly Farms 400. Back at North Wilkesboro, where Rusty Wallace has taken the lead from Mark Martin.
You folks felt like it was going to happen, didn't you? Well, it did.
Sure the world.
About a lap after we went to break, Rusty Wallace went down behind Mark Martin in turn 3 and 4, and here's what happened. Mark goes up the hill just a little bit. Rusty didn't. He turned left and took the lead.
And so the Miller Ford is up front for the first time this afternoon. Now we look back on second place Mark Martin. Here is Jimmy Spencer and Derek Cope. And what are they battling for? 8th spot.
8th spot. And Jimmy Spencer just took it over. Spencer has a good race car here today.
Let's not count out Sterling Marlin and the 41 of Ricky Craven, which is having a good show. Here are the Waltrips. The brothers Waltrip with Michael to the inside and Darrell to the outside. And John Kernan has an update on Darrell Waltrip. John.
Well, you've seen Darrell drop back and lose some ground. He had gotten all the way up into the 9th position, but Jeff Hammond just told me that he doesn't like this set of tires, and that last adjustment that they made, a slight adjustment on the track bar, the car is still loose on this set of tires, so they would like to get a caution, and now he's getting passed by Ricky Rudd out there on the racetrack. They'd like to see a caution, bring him back in, put 4 new tires on it, and make another adjustment to try and tighten the car up.
That puts it back to 19th position. John Andretti is 2 laps down, not on the same lap as Darrell Waltrip, but just as fast as he went forward, he's going back.
And Ricky Craven trying to take over the 10th spot from Derek Cope. He does it.
Cope's car seems to be slipping and sliding a little bit now coming off the turn. The Badcock Furniture Ford.
10 position improvement in the first 107 laps for the Kodiak Chevy with Ricky Craven behind the wheel. Let's see what's going on up front. Well, Jeff Gordon is coming up on Mark Martin for 2nd position as Rusty continues to hold the lead here.
He's closing in. All he wants right now is just a little slip. A little slip from Mark Martin. If he does, he'll take the spot away. And he didn't wait for the slip.
That's right. But Jeff Gordon, although he is not taking any chances, has to be concerned about Terry Labonte back there in 5th. Of course, as long as he can keep Terry back there the rest of the season, he's got the championship won. But Labonte has been so strong this year.
Labonte right now in 4th spot. And he closes right in on the back bumper of Mark Martin. Bill Weber?
Well, Terry Labonte and his team came to North Wilkesboro 2 weeks ago and brought 3 cars up here, including the silver one that Terry won with here in the spring. After that race, that car was put in the Hendrick Motorsports Museum. They took it out of the museum, brought that one here, the car they have on the track, and another one. Terry tested all 3, ran 9 laps in the car that's on the track today, said this is the one we want. They took it to Martinsville, had a great run after that clutch problem, and they're very confident that car could carry Terry to a North Wilkesboro sweep today.
Folks, you wonder why Mark Martin just moved over and let Terry Labonte go. I was talking to Mark at Richmond. It's his belief that when a car catches you from a half straightaway back, that he's going to pass you. And the longer that you fight him off, the more time you're going to lose. He said, yes, I'm going to lose 3/10 of a second one time moving over and letting those cars go by. In the long run, he said, I think I gained ground by doing that.
I totally agree, Benny. I think that's good, smart driving.
Roof cam on, Mark Martin.
Let's see if Rick Mast is able to gain on Rusty Wallace. He's 2 3/4 of a second back right now, and he's closing in on Mark Martin.
2.64. We'll track him here for a few laps and see if he's picking it up, reducing the interval between himself and first place.
A little piece of tape or rubber off the back bumper on Rick Mast's car. Hey, he's closed up almost 1/4 of a second in a couple of laps. I think Mark Martin moves over and lets him go just like he did Labonte.
So make Mast 4th now, and it's down to 2.37 seconds.
He is definitely gaining on the leader. Rick Mast, the Hooters Pontiac.
Rick has 2 straight finishes of 6th or better, had his best performance of 1996 at Martinsville last week, finishing in 4th spot. And the 29 car of Jeff Green makes a pit stop and is rolling once again. Meanwhile, up front, Jeff Gordon is ready to take the lead away from Rusty Wallace.
While right back behind them, Rick Mast moved around Terry Labonte.
And we can see he's 2 1/3 seconds behind now. Jeff Gordon putting that left front on the concrete, isn't he?
I'm telling you, he sure is. He's way low in that turn.
And here's Mark Martin moving around Terry Labonte.
So Martin now goes back to 4th, Labonte to 5th. And it looks like that.
Whoa, look at that. He gained a 1/2 second that lap. But Rusty Wallace and the 24 car are fighting, and that's exactly what I was talking about by Mark Martin a moment ago.
They're coming up once again on Kyle Petty and putting him 2 laps down. He's running in 30th spot after the incident early in the race here on the main straightaway. Jerry, update us on Rusty.
Well, both Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon had the same problem during the last pit stop. Both of them had complained their cars were loose. Both of them took different philosophies. The 2 car decided he would go down in air pressure 1 pound all the way around. A big gamble, considering when you lower air pressure, you really can scrape the tires out a little bit. But Robin Pemberton made the call, and Rusty said, hey, that adjustment, Robin, was killer. The car is running well. Jeff Gordon has a problem with the 11 car. Brett Bodine having his problem.
He's fallen off the pace down the backstretch, and Brett Bodine will be coming in for a stop. Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt is making a move toward the front.
There he is, just went by Terry Labonte to move in the top 5. So as these cars in front of him are having trouble, looks like Earnhardt is getting closer and closer to the front.
And Ernie Irvin almost hit the wall down in turns 1 and 2.
That was a close call for Ernie. That thing just went up the banking, almost hit the wall, but he regained control. By the way, the 17 car, Darrell Waltrip, has just been lapped after he was running up in the top 10. Waltrip now 1 lap down in 24th.
But Rick Mast has caught Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace.
And look how he did it. Look at his times there compared to Wallace.
Yeah, every one of his laps was down in the 20-second bracket, where Rusty, most of them were over 21.
Yep. And Darrell Waltrip lost a lap. He came in. John?
And I'm being told it'll be right side tires only, also a track bar adjustment, and also a wedge adjustment. As they sit here, it's taking a little bit longer. A half round of wedge on the right rear, but it was just right side tires for DW. But he did lose a lap, so he decided to come in and pick, get fresh right sides on, and hopefully they can catch a caution. And now Jeff Gordon upside of Rusty Wallace, a battle for the lead shaping up.
It's a good battle down the backstretch. Jeff falls in behind Rusty.
And look who's right on Jeff Gordon's bumper. Rick Mast is right there waiting for his opportunity.
Into turn 1. Oh, they're awfully close here. Good, clean racing there. And then Jeff Gordon is going to pass him, it looks like. Nope. Rusty battles back on the outside. Now he gets the lead. Oh! Look at Mast. Oh, some contact. Throws Wallace out of control.
Yeah, Rusty went on. He started to come back down, and Rick was going to run in there while he was up high. And I don't think Rusty knew he was there. And that could have been bad news for both of them.
For both those automobiles, you're right, Ned. That was so close to catastrophe as Mark Martin blows by Rusty Wallace. And I tell you what, both of them are fortunate they don't have a flat tire. The right front on Rick Mast's car and the left rear on Rusty Wallace's car. Now the question is, can Rick Mast go up and catch the 24? How much was Rusty Wallace holding up the 24 car?
Let's take a look at this once again.
Well, there we see Gordon go by on the inside. Rusty lets him go, and then Rusty starts to pull back down, and Mast was going to run in there too while that lower lane was open. You can see the smoke fly there where their tires got together.
Made some pretty good contact with left rear on Rusty's car. Tore it pretty good. Once again, another angle. There we see how he goes down the corner, and boom! Pretty doggone significant contact.
Yes.
Yeah. A great job on both of them's part to not wreck there.
Let's go to John Kernan.
I just talked to Rick Mast crew chief Kevin Hamill, and he says, I hope we didn't hurt the car. He said, hopefully all we've got is a little bit of fender on the right front rubbing on the tire, but that shouldn't be too bad because they plan on pitting in about 30 laps.
22 cars are now on the lead lap as Jeff Gordon puts a lap on the 23rd runner at the moment, Lake Speed. We'll be right back. We're back at the Tyson Holly Farms 400 from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Coming up next, right after we say goodbye to this place, it's Major League Baseball, and the Padres and the Dodgers will be going at it. The winner wins the National League West. The winner will play the St. Louis Cardinals Tuesday. The loser will face the world champion Atlanta Braves on Wednesday. The Pirates and the Dodgers at 4 o'clock this afternoon, right after the Tyson Holly Farms 400. We're riding with third place Mark Martin and watching Rick Mast up ahead, and Jeff Gordon also, as a 21 car of Michael Waltrip has lost a lap.
Michael is in 20th position, so now 19 cars remain on the lead lap.
And you see the pole sitter, Ted Musgrave, is now 1 lap down to the leaders, went a lap down just a couple of laps ago.
Kyle Petty is back in the pits once again in the Coors Light Pontiac.
Now Rick Mast will not be driving the 1 car next year.
He'll be driving the 75 car that Morgan Shepherd is currently driving.
They do not have a driver name for this car or a sponsor, right?
To my knowledge, they do not have a sponsor or driver. That's correct. There was some discussion about Rick Mast wearing a hat in his victory, in his interviews last week in Martinsville after the race. I don't remember exactly whose hat he had on. Someone speculated that might be a sponsor next year. Yep.
Well, the 18 car is going a lap down here to Jeff Gordon and the others. That's Bobby Labonte, and he's in 19th spot. Well, Kernan, bail us out of this situation. Answer some questions.
Okay, the hat that Rick had on wasn't a Hooters hat. The primary sponsor on the car is one of the associate sponsors on the car, Hughes Network Systems. They deal in the digital satellite systems, of little 18-inch dishes that people use when they don't have cable TV. Richard told me yesterday that, yeah, he is talking to several different people. He may have a sponsor on the line. He's hoping to find something out within the next couple of weeks, and he's still talking to some drivers, including a very young driver. And I don't know who that is, but they just say it's someone who has a lot of potential.
Oh, I bet you do. You just don't want to tell us.
That could either be Benny Parsons or Ned Jarrett. Real young, yeah.
Johnny Benson back on pit road. Disappointing day continues. 4 tires and fuel in lap 124. He's off the lead lap down on the field, and he's one guy that really won't miss this place. Only a couple of Winston Cup races for Johnny here at North Wilkesboro.
Benson was looking good in the early laps, but has faded. He was 24th here in the spring at North Wilkesboro.
Michael Waltrip in the pits.
Rusty Wallace. There goes Earnhardt. Jeff Burton having another good run. He's quietly moved into the 6th spot.
Then Labonte and Jimmy Spencer and Ricky Craven and Bobby Hamilton. And there's the 12th place car of Dale Jarrett. Of course, 11th place Sterling Marlin just ahead. Since the restart, Dale Jarrett has moved from 18th to 12th position. So he's not doing bad here after a very poor qualifying performance and a 30th place start. And Michael Waltrip has come into the pits. He lost a lap a few minutes ago. Here's Jerry.
Right side tires, they changed both right and left side tires. They've gone about 73 laps. That's the short track car the Wood brothers had bought from Jack Roush.
And And while he was merging into the traffic there, he and Jeff Bodine got together a little bit. Now Michael's going to be a lot faster on these new tires, and that's a heavy traffic that he moved into there. But look at him go around Nemechek just on the outside, no problem.
Clear.
And he really needs to move forward as fast as he can because the leaders, Jeff Gordon and Rick Mast, aren't that far behind. But he'll easily stay in front of them with these fresh tires.
75 car of Morgan Shepherd is making a pit stop. Where was he running at? 18th. Just lost a lap, huh?
Yep. And a lot of them will do that. As soon as they go a lap down, they go ahead and come into the pits. They stay out there as long as they can. Hope for a caution that can make that pit stop, but when it doesn't come, they'll come into the pits. So there's Morgan getting 4 tires, tank of fuel on the Remington RS-Ford.
Here's another driver looking for a ride next year. As we told you, Rick Mast will go into this car, and Morgan Shepherd still looking. Here is Dale Earnhardt coming up on Rusty Wallace and taking 4th.
Has the yellow paint on all 4 of his tires. When they make contact with other cars and rub up against them, put those donuts, they take all that yellow paint off.
Of course, that's the Goodyear yellow paint that Benny's talking about there in those tires.
Tracking to the interval between 1st and 3rd, Gordon and Martin, 1.21 seconds last time around. Dale Earnhardt has won 5 times here at North Wilkesboro, 4 in the spring race, and he won this event in '91. The 12th car of Derek Cope is in, Bill.
Well, a strong start, but Derek Cope fading. Now he's on pit road, lap 153, right side tires now for Cope. Also on pit road, Sterling Marlin in the Kodak Chevy and Ricky Rudd's Tide Ford. Left side tires going on. Derek Cope's car, the fuel is in. Extra man, they're allowed to clean the windshield, waiting on the left front. Derek Cope is down and away. Lengthy pit stop for Cope. Jerry Punch.
That same way, 4 tire change for Sterling Marlin. No adjustment as far as the car is concerned. A slight air pressure adjustment on the 4 tires they put on.
So Rudd and Marlin both back out on the racetrack. Meanwhile, Gordon's got some heavy traffic up ahead.
Johnny Benson, the Pennzoil car, we saw him in the pits just a moment ago changing 4 tires, and away he goes. Dale Jarrett's in the pits, changing 4 tires. Looks like the stop is complete. Tommy Mullis says, go guys, go. That's it.
He had also just lost a lap in 13th position, and so Jarrett with fresh rubber is back out there.
Yeah, he hadn't been lapped on the track. He got lapped when he came into the pits.
And you can see the difference in speed as those on the racetrack go by quickly, and Dale keeping the car under what, 35 miles an hour?
35 on pit road here. Of course, he'll merge into the traffic. Hope that he doesn't have to go into heavy traffic like Michael Waltrip did there a little bit earlier.
We saw Terry Labonte just a moment ago on the outside of him. Let's see if Dale Jarrett's on the inside of him. He's not there. John Kernan.
Dale Jarrett in, 4 tires, 1.5 round to bite. Remember, he's been finding a loose condition on that car. And guys, Rusty Wallace is headed down pit road. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch in Rusty's pit.
Well, Rusty's car has faded. The car has gotten loose, so they're going to change 4 tires. They're going to go back up on the air pressure in the right front. Right side tires going on the Miller Ford Thunderbird. Rusty Wallace bringing his favorite car, Ronnie. This is the car he was leading with 10 laps to go when he tagged John Andretti in turn 3 and hit the water barrels a year ago. Left side tires on the Miller Ford Thunderbird. Remember the air adjustment, trying to tighten the car up.
Wow.
17.8 seconds.
Wow, what a great pit stop by that crew.
Comes out just ahead of the leader, Jeff Gordon, and the 43 car of Bobby Hamilton is coming down, and he is pitted off. He's the last one pitted down there in turn number 1.
Of course, Bill Elliott came in right behind him. You see both of them on your screen. Bill Elliott on the left, Dale Earnhardt coming into the pits as Ricky Craven goes out. Ken Strader, the 25 car, him goes out as Earnhardt comes down pit road. So green flag pit stops here. Everybody will be coming in very shortly. But one thing the leaders can't afford, once the leader, some of the front runners have come in, the others can't afford to stay out there too long because they're going to be picking up a second to lap of him.
Bobby Hamilton back out. Jerry Punch is there with Earnhardt.
Routine 4 tire change for Earnhardt. Right front tire rolls away as they will change right side tires. Now go to the left side. Let's check into Bill Weber, who's up in Terry Labonte's pit.
Terry Labonte has been a little loose on this set of tires. They're going to try and tighten it up a little bit. 4 tires and fuel for the Kellogg Chevrolet. He's on his way, so is Earnhardt. And Gordon is now on pit road, and he'll make the drive almost to the end of pit road. Mark Martin is right behind him. To John Gordon.
Rick Mast is in. It's the right side tires already changed. Kevin Hamlin, the front tire changer, pulls that right front fender off of the tire. They're coming around to the left side, around the bike, taken out of the right rear. Jeff Gordon is in. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punches. Rick Mast.
It's been 91 laps since Gordon pitted. No adjustments for tires. Martin also on pit road. Left side tires on Gordon. He is down and away. They clean the windshield. Mark Martin getting his car serviced. Valve lean forward, down and away. Great pit work down here on the far end of pit road.
So everyone up front has made a pit stop here at the 162 lap mark. We'll be back with more live coverage of the Tyson Holly Farms 400 in just a moment. John, thank you very much. Here at North Wilkesboro, 171 laps have been completed, and Rusty Wallace is in the lead with the 24 car of Jeff Gordon running in second spot. It's our final visit to North Wilkesboro after 30 telecasts. Winston Cup Series will not compete here after today. Our telecast this afternoon is being brought to you by Quaker State, the motor oil that exceeds the highest standards for engine protection, and by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. And we look back on Jeff Gordon. Rusty Wallace, who was involved in a skirmish with Rick Mast a few laps ago. That car was not hurt in any way by it, it looks like, because Rusty has taken off and leading this race again.
And Jeff Gordon right now is pressuring Rusty Wallace. Just a couple of laps ago and taking a look on the inside. Now we see Mark Martin and Rick Mast, the 4th place car. They had to, on Rick Mast's pit stop, they had to pull the right front fender off that tire, as John Kerner reported, and that little bit of time cost him that much track position.
He was right on the leader's bumper when he pitted, but comes out quite a bit of interval between himself and the leaders, and a lot of traffic also between second and third.
As we watch Rusty Wallace, Bobby Hamilton, when he made his pit stop, he came out behind Rusty Wallace. He passed both Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace and is pulled away, so he's got himself back in the lead lap. Hamilton's running 16th.
There you can see a 2.8 second interval between first and fifth, as Dale Earnhardt is in the 5th position.
And Jeff Gordon goes under Rusty Wallace. Comes off the corner now. Bill Elliott's going to try to follow, but Rusty goes down quickly and blocks that spot.
Elliott in 17th position. And one guy who is doing a heck of a job out there is Dale Jarrett. From a poor starting position, Dale has moved up to 7th spot. There is Darrell Waltrip right behind him. He's on fresh tires, was in just a few laps ago. Darrell Waltrip has lost 3 laps and is now shown in 33rd spot. Looked like the DW of old in the early part of the race.
Looked very good. Well, the leaders here are getting in heavy traffic once again.
Bill Elliott, the McDonald's Ford, has been able to hang with these 2 cars, the 2 leaders. Not able to get by them, but he stayed right on their back bumper since he came out of the pits. He was, what then?
17th, 1 lap behind.
Also, Jimmy Spencer is hanging with him. He's 18th. 1 lap down to these leaders as Robert Presley once again. I want to say hello to Leo Jackson, the 33 car. Robert Presley, he's the owner of this car. Andy Peaky will be taking over as owner of the car next year. Leo isn't here today. I was going to pat him on the back and tell him how much I appreciate everything you've done for me over the years, but Tell you what, those grouse in western North Carolina better look out with Leo Jackson not having to go to the races on the weekend.
Robert Presley, by the way, will drive the 29 car next year. Well, Rick Mast seems to be showing some muscle here of recent.
Well, certainly he's running good, Bob. But when the leader got all this heavy traffic, that allowed Rick to catch up a little bit. He has a good race car, no question. There he is, right on the back bumper of Mark Martin. But when they got in that heavy traffic, that certainly helped his cause a little bit.
There he goes to the inside of Mark and takes third position.
Now the leaders have cleared what was really some traffic for about 4 or 5 laps that held them up. Now Mast is going to have to go through it. You see where he is and where the leaders are over there?
Yep.
There'll probably be a half lap. Oh, a battle for the lead. Here comes Rusty Wallace. Wow, these cars are awfully equal, aren't they?
They sure are. Rusty gets the lead back here on the 185th lap. The interval is going to grow here because there's a lot of traffic between Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon and Rick Mast.
It'll be 5 seconds by the time Rick Mast gets through all that traffic because it is heavy, heavy traffic.
So Rusty Wallace assumes control of this event once again. We are less than 15 laps away from the halfway mark of the Tyson Holly Farms 400.
Rebound when it goes down, if that chain gets a kink and it goes back up, if that chain shortens, it'll literally jerk the tire off the ground as they come off the corner. Can you imagine a left rear being jerked off the ground as they come off the corner? Not pretty.
No. Well, as you can see, Jeff Gordon has gone back into the lead, and now the battle is for second position as Rick Mast is right on the back spoiler of Rusty Wallace. Well, Rick Mast got through that traffic a little better than we thought, maybe, BP.
He did. He didn't lose. I thought he'd lose a couple of seconds or so, Benny, but he was still right in there.
That's what I'm an expert.
Yeah, that's why we pay you those high dollars.
Exactly. Huh? That's why I get those big bucks. I said it'd be 5 seconds. It looks like it's about a half second each game. Attaboy, Rick.
Ah, well. And you remember now these two had a little incident not too long ago. Mast and Wallace did. Look at this. First 24 races, 2 top 10s, and he's had 2 in the last 2 races.
Now they're both trying to get by the lap car of Bill Elliott and McDonald's Ford. Looks like Rusty may be on the inside of him now.
Bill could not get up there and pass the leader. He passed the second place car, but he had to pass the leader to get back in the lead lap. Boy, look how tight this is coming off the corner.
Oh, man.
Robert Presley has some record tires on these other cars.
Gordon's having a heck of a time getting around Morgan Shepherd. He's been behind him for quite a while.
Morgan is running in 16th position. The last car on the lead lap.
$10,000 up for grabs here in 2 more laps. That completes lap number 198. Jeff Gordon now trying to get around Robert Presley, but meanwhile, that's really tightened up the battle for first and second.
See Wally Dallenbach head for pit road as Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace come off the corner. $10,000.
Next time around, $10,000 to the leader of the race. Rusty would like to have that money in his pocket.
Well, they gave him the halfway mark that time.
Did they? You're right. You're right. Yep.
So Gordon's got it.
Scoreboard's a lap off. The halfway point has been reached. Jeff Gordon wins it, and now Morgan Shepherd is trying to stay on the lead lap, but is not going to.
Just as a point of interest, 7 times this year, the leader of halfway point has won the race 7 times.
Dr. Jerry Punch has more.
You talk about how focused, how much these drivers concentrate on the short track. You worry primarily about the car in front of you, passing them, but also maintaining your line. A moment ago, Jeff Gordon radioed to Ray Evernham and said, "Hey, Ray, who's leading? Who's leading?" Ray said, "You are." Jeff said, "Oh, that's good."
And check this out. Dale Earnhardt has joined that, and Mark Martin.
Things are tightening up here at the halfway mark.
Yes, they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, nose to tail.
First 5 right together on the racetrack. We'll jump on board with Mark Martin here.
hear him back off the corner, back off the gas.
This is how Dale Earnhardt closed the gap. Look at his lap times compared to the leader of the race, Jeff Gordon. Every one of them faster. He reduced the interval from 1.8 seconds on lap 195 to 1 second on the 199th circuit.
That's the best way I know of to catch somebody, is run faster laps than they do.
That's very good, yes.
That'll work. You know, the last time Dale Earnhardt, he has caught these cars several times today, but on long runs, it seems like the Goodwrench Chevrolet seems to fade. But although they made a pit stop or two since that long run, and he might have the car adjusted now. What do you think, Bill Weber?
Well, Benny, a lot of these crew chiefs down here are encouraging their drivers to save their tires. Buddy Parrott has been talking to Jeff Burton. Please save your tires, save your tires. I just talked to Goodwrench team manager Bobby Hutchins. He told me Earnhardt right now on this set is looking for the proper rhythm that will make him strong at the end of the race. He wants to make sure he doesn't wear out his rear tires when they get down to the closing laps. Jerry Punch.
Just spoke with David Smith here, co-crew chief for Dale Earnhardt. He said, hey, Dale has been complaining the car was very, very loose. On our last pit stop, we added wedge, we made an air pressure adjustment, and Dale said it's the best the car has felt all day. It isn't perfect. He said one more pit stop, that's about all we would need to get a little more air pressure change, and the car will be dialed into Dale's liking.
Right now, he's trying to take over the third spot and does it. Goes by the one car of Rick Masso, put him up in third spot. Now Morgan Shepherd is on fresh tires. He will probably go blowing by all these guys, and Earnhardt almost got in the loose stuff.
Yep, Mark Martin is going to come up beside Rick Mass. He's got Darrell Waltrip ahead of him. Faster line. Maybe the bottom, I guess.
And Mark Martin moves into fourth spot.
Guys, you know who the fastest car on the racetrack that hasn't made a pit stop? That's running among the leaders.
Yep.
We haven't talked about Jeff Burton.
Jeff Burton, yeah.
He is coming. He was way back after that pit stop. He was back further than 20th and now has moved into 6th place.
Yeah, we were following him just a minute ago, and we saw the interval between him and the leader. Quite a bit of racetrack, but
well, you see Jeff Bodine go by, but that he has fresher tires, Jeff Bodine does.
And Dale Earnhardt just passed Rusty Wallace. Move into second spot. There's Earnhardt. And there's Wallace.
Ooh, Jeff Gordon almost. He was on the inside of Dave Marcus going into the turn. Dave and Morton and Shepherd came up there with new tires, made it 3 abreast going into the corner. And Jeff Gordon really had to get on the brakes, slid his wheels to keep from causing a wreck. Let's watch it.
wow.
See, there he is on the inside of the 71. And look at Morgan Shepherd come up here. Really coming up in a hurry. And you will see the smoke fly here. See there?
Oh, my.
Wow. Close call for Jeff Gordon.
Dave Marcus, by the way, 2 laps down, running in 26th position. It is still Jeff Gordon maintaining the lead over Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, and Rick Mass. Those are the top 5 after 213 of the 400 laps at North Wilkesboro.
Well, I got a lot of good memories, I guess, and bad memories because we run so many races there. But probably the one that stands out the most is incident with me and Bobby Allison back in 71, 72, I guess. Came down to the last of the race, and me and him was racing, and I don't know, 2 or 3 laps to go, I hit him or he hit me, and then we really got with it then. And if it had been one more lap, neither one of the cars would have made it. That's how bad a shape they was in. So, I guess as far as really getting adrenaline flowing for winning the race, I happened to win the race. That was probably the most exciting moment from my standpoint because it lasted more than just one incident or one lap.
Well, guess what? Dale Earnhardt has worked his way into the lead.
The 24th race led here for Dale Earnhardt, and here's how he got around Jeff Gordon. Doing it the tough way, isn't he?
I don't want to go on the outside. Do you, Ned?
Well, I don't like it, not on a track like this, but he goes up there, has a lot of confidence in Gordon, and Gordon didn't fight him too much. He just let him go. And wonder if Gordon, when he got in, he and Dave Marcus got together, it looked like their tires might have rubbed a little bit. How about it, Jerry Punch?
Well, what Jeff has told Ray Evernham, Ned, was that he is flat spotted to right front when he became the meet in that Checkered and Marcus sandwich a little bit ago. He said, I know we want to go 25 more laps to pit. He said, but Ray, I'm not sure we can make it 25 more laps. The car is going away. And Ray said, just back off and save that right front. We got about 2 more stops. We'll get it fixed. Don't worry about it.
Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett has caught Rusty Wallace for 6th position.
Now we'll see Ricky Rudd out there in the Tide Ford. He just came out of the pits. Ricky was running along at about 9th position, and he chose to make an early pit stop. Johnny Benson Jr. is in the pits right now, but Rusty's car really has gone away. He's just hanging on out there, hoping for a caution or waiting for one of the leaders in front of him to pit, and then he'll come in.
Dale Jarrett's best finisher was 7th. He's been in 18 races, but he's right on that back bumper of Rusty now.
Let's check Jeff Burton and see how he's doing later. The interval on the left side of the pylon. We'll just check him out. 2 3/4 second behind right now as we watch Dale Jarrett's Ford Quality Gear car try to get by Rusty. And yes, Rusty cannot control it. Goes uphill, and Dale Jarrett drives on the inside. And we can see that Jeff Burtonhead is the fastest on the track. He's gained 1/4 second.
Yeah, he has now passed Mark Martin for the 3rd position. So Jeff Burton is on the tear.
There's the 4th place car, Mark Martin. And there's the leader. Earnhardt, the 3, and Jeff Gordon, the 24.
I heard you guys talking about this track in the truck race yesterday and explaining that it's an abrasive surface, just like it was at Darlington before they repaved it.
Exactly. We can see the rubber laying down on the concrete up in 3 and 4. When they go around the racetrack, it just, like sandpaper, it just takes the rubber off the tires.
2.2 seconds, Benny, between for a 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, he's moving right on up. Jeff Burton. That's back to the score.
Now let's see, there's the 4th place car. There goes the 1. There goes Dale Jarrett. And there comes Terry Labonte. He's the 8th place car trying to chase down Rusty Wallace.
Jeremy Mayfield running there with him in the 37 car. And on back we have Sterling Marlin, who is 9th. Started in 13th. And then your scoring pylon will show you that the next car after Sterling Marlin will be the 41 Ricky Craven. Where is he?
Sterling Marlin heading for the pits, and there comes the 43 car.
Barry Cope is in the pits.
There is Marlin on pit road looking for his stall. And it's down here about 3/4 of the way down.
Long pits here.
Let's go to Bill Weber.
Derek Cope coming in for 4 tires. They've already got the fuel in. The rights are on. The lefts are tight. Derek returns for the race. Jerry Punch.
That 31st place finish last week in Martin. Will they make an adjustment on the left rear, trying to tighten up the Kodak Film Chevrolet? 1, 2, 3 half rounds. That's a round and a half total. He is off the jack, down and away. It pulls out right to the side. Hutch Strickland.
Okay, who will be the
leaders on pit road? Dale Earnhardt down and away. Jeff Gordon down and away. 4 tires as they will try to get out of the pit road. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
Jeff Burton led a lap, now on pit road. Right side tires are on his X-side Ford. They're having a remarkable run. The car was just a little loose. 1 round of wedge. The sluts are tight, and Jeff Burton scoots back into the race.
Jeff did lead a lap. That was the first time he's led since we were at Richmond not too long ago. And on the racetrack, Gordon and Dale Earnhardt are racing again.
I tell you what, Burton might end up with a lead again. He's in front of these cars. If they can't catch him, he will be the leader. Yes, I think he's going to end up with the lead after the pit stop.
great pit stop?
Buddy Parrott and the crew take a bow. Great pit stop.
Jeff Burton maintains the lead. How about that? But here comes Gordon, and Dale Earnhardt closing in on him. He's to the end. Burton is to the inside of Ricky Craven.
Ricky Rudd, is he the leader of the race?
Yeah, he's the leader of the race. He hasn't pitted yet.
I think he pitted earlier, and he may be, in fact, since he was out there with those fresh tires, he probably did gain some on the leaders and could be the leader of the race.
Yeah. But when all said and done, it's going to be Jeff Burton. This is actually the battle for second place between Jeff and Jeff. Jeremy Mayfield rolling back onto the track after a pit stop. There's your points leader in NASCAR Winston Cup competition with an 81-point lead over Terry Labonte. Jeff Gordon running third here this afternoon. We've had 7 leaders so far today, including Gordon and Hamilton and Wallace, Martin, Irvin, Earnhardt, and Jeff Burton. Gordon has led the most, 81 so far.
I'll tell you what, if that 28 and 43 had not had the action on the front stretch and was able to race with these fellas, it would be some kind of race now, wouldn't it?
Yep. And Sterling Marlin and Rick Mast are racing for the 7th position. Mast goes to the inside, takes it from Sterling.
We now have 15 cars on the lead lap.
Riding with Michael Waltrip, who's 9th.
Oh,
1, 2, and 3, nose to tail.
Brett Bodine, Bill Elliott. Bodine goes another lap down. And here comes Jeff Gordon. Whew. Close. He's trying his best to get on the inside of Jeff Burton. Watch those back end of those cars wiggle.
I think Jeff Burton's car is stronger after they run a while. It won't run faster, but it runs faster according to the others after they have run a while. Here goes Gordon.
Yep, taking the lead back. Jeff Gordon takes the lead back from Jeff Burton on the 251st lap. 12 car of Derek Cope is smoking.
Boy, they've had some tough luck in that 12 car.
I beg your pardon. Ricky Rudd is still in the lead. He still hasn't pitted.
Well, he pitted 25 laps before the other front runners did, and that gave him a long time out there. They're black flagging Derek Cope. That gave Ricky Rudd a long time out there to run on fresh tires. Let's go to the pits and Jerry Punch.
Let me show you the tire Jeff Gordon was trying to hang on with and then eventually had to be passed to the lead. This is the right front tire we saw smoking when he jammed the brakes on. It's supposed to say Goodyear Eagle. That's all been rubbed off where he came into contact with Dave Marcus. Take a look at the front of the car, the top of the tire. Look where it was flat started. Folks, this metal showing right here, that is the cord showing through the tire where he jammed the brakes on and slid the tire across the racetrack. That's how close that was to being a cut right front tire. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
Nothing quite as dramatic for Terry Labonte. He's trying to be his smooth, consistent self. Routine stop last time, 4 tires and fuel. No problems with the car, but Terry just hoping to be one of the factors when we get to the final 100 laps. John Kernan.
On the last pit stop, Dale Jarrett, the car had been loose. They took on 4 tires, dropped the right rear a half a pound on the air pressure. They added 1 round to bite the left rear. Rick Mast also went for 4 tires. That car had gotten very loose on that last run. The sun had been out and they had heated up the track and messed up the handling on it. So they added 3 rounds of wedge to Rick Mast's car.
Riding with Dale Jarrett, who is up to 6th spot.
Dale Jarrett, a lot of clean racetrack. There we see Rick Mast as he tries to continue on his march to catch Dale Jarrett. He's in 7th spot. Boy, coming off the wheel, not fighting that thing at all, was he? Just holding on to the steering wheel.
Yeah. There's Ricky Rudd, the leader of the race.
And Jeff Gordon is closing in on it, Bob. He's not far behind. A little bit ago, he was like 3 or 4 seconds. There you see Gordon come into the right end of the picture on the right side of your screen. So he has much fresher tires by 25 laps.
Ted Musgrave just went 2 laps down. Our pole sitter, he's in 21st position. So Ted Musgrave went from the pole to a struggle here in the race.
Let me correct myself. It was 20 laps. Rudd stopped on lap 220. Gordon on lap 240. So 20 laps difference in those tires.
We understand that a lot of drivers are complaining about debris on the racetrack, and Jeff Gordon has passed Ricky Rudd now, and so has Dale Earnhardt. So the tires are going away on Rudd, and he'll be coming in for a stop before too long, you can bet.
Well, he can probably go another 20 laps. The caution is out. He'll get that chance right now. We think it's for oil on the racetrack.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Business is going to pick up right now, I'll tell you.
It's our 3rd caution of the afternoon. Pace car picking up Jeff Gordon, the leader of the race.
We see the flag is out. Now the green flag is waved. Pit road is open. Are they going to come or aren't they? Yes.
Yeah, they don't want to give up any laps on those tires. It's been 240. It's been 20 laps since they were in. Yeah, they need fresh tires.
Everybody on the lead lap coming in on the right of your screen. Dale Jarrett is in. Here's John.
Dale Jarrett, the very first pit, they make a track bar adjustment on that car 1 round as the right sides are already changed. Left side's now getting ready to come off. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
What a break for Ricky Rudd. They short-stopped as Ned said on lap 220, and they desperately needed this caution if their strategy was to work. The right side's already on, the fuel already in, putting on the left sides, waiting for the Tide 4 to go back into the race. Jerry Bunch.
Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt pitting nose to tail. Right and left side tires now going on both those Chevrolets. Gordon off the jack, Earnhardt off the jack. They will drag race to the end of the pit road. Gordon, Earnhardt, and then the rest, they head back to 1.
Dale Jarrett will come out 3rd and Rudd in 4th. So indeed it was an excellent timed caution flag for Ricky Rudd, who's going to find himself in 4th position. We'll take a break from the Tyson Holly Farms 400 and be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Earnhardt and I were racing, been battling pretty much most of the day, I think. I think Dale had a dominant car that day, then he faded at the end, and I came on pretty strong at the end. And as soon as I caught Dale, it was about 10 laps to go, and I kind of gave him a little nudge, let him know I was back there. Drove off into turn 1, I got underneath him. I was completely square with him going into turn 1. And, you know, his version, he's going to say that I went up on him, and my version is he came down on me. But make a long story short, we got together, spun going into turn 1. Neither one of us backed it in the fence. We just kind of went down in the corner, did 180, and slid up out of the groove. And about, seemed like a few minutes later, Jeff Bodine came by and won the race. And so it was a pretty memorable moment.
They were battling for the lead, and they go into turn number 1. And I used 5 words to describe what happened that I will never forget, not necessarily for the words, but because I reached new highs with my voice. Here comes the field down for the white flag. 1 more to go. Rudd is inside of Dale Earnhardt as they go into turn number 1, and both of them spin.
And Jeff Bodine takes the lead.
Earnhardt spins along with Ricky Rudd. And whenever I think of those 5 words, my voice gets just a little bit sore.
That day, Earnhardt went out first, and I understand they threw a lot of beer bottles and such at his car and did some damage to it. And Linda had a new car that day, so we didn't ride out in that. We rode out laying in the floor with the van with a blanket on top of us, so we didn't. It was. You had a lot of angry Earnhardt fans. You had a lot of angry Rudd fans at that time. So it looked like a riot was ready to break out. So I felt the best place to be was probably just kind of low profile it out the racetrack that day.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro.
You can still get up that high, huh?
It's not as easy as it used to be, believe me.
Dale Jarrett, what a great move. He's currently up to 3rd spot. Now we see Ricky Rudd. And Bill Weber has a follow-up on Ricky Rudd, Bill.
Well, Ricky Rudd has had many frantic moments at this racetrack. He's hoping to have a good one here today in the final race. Their tires on that Tide Ford are going away at about 70 laps. So Danny Marshburn and the crew decided to bring Ricky in at lap 220. They convinced him to come on in, short stop, we'll cross our fingers and see if it works. Well, it did. They got the caution, they're back up front. Rudd just congratulated his crew on the radio. He said, we don't have a great car, but we do have great strategy. I'll never doubt you guys again.
Very good performance on pit road. Ricky's trying to rebound from his first DNF of the season last week at Martinsville. And there you see the pit summary showing where they were before the pit stop and where they are right now. And Dale Jarrett is the big gainer there. He was 6th before the pit stop and comes out in 3rd position now. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more live coverage in just a moment from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, the Tyson Holly Farms 400. And you don't find fans any better than they are right here at North Wilkesboro. Each has come out today to see the final NASCAR Winston Cup race.
Wow.
What's going on here?
I saw the smoke coming out of the back of the 12 car. I wonder if it might be the gear, the pinion seal gone, and the gear is on fire underneath the Badcock Home Furnishings Derek Cope's car. Wow. And there that baby comes out. Is it hot or what? Jerry Punch?
Boy, some frightening moments for Derek Cope. And Derek, when it was on fire, they just yelled, get out, and you were trying to get unhooked.
Well, you know, we got so many things to unhook these days. It takes a little bit of time, but really unfortunate day for the Badcock folks. You know, we had a rear gear go away on us.
Well, Derek Cope's going to try to get it refixed and get back in the racetrack as we go back to green. Bob?
129 laps to go. And this one, here they come, and the green flag comes back out. Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett, Ricky Rudd, and Mark Martin.
For second place, there's Jarrett, the 88 car, and some contact between him and Earnhardt, and once again they make contact.
Man.
Earnhardt was going to protect that spot. He wasn't going to let nobody out there, was he?
And something's dragging on Dale's car, isn't it?
That's just the side, the aerodynamic piece that goes down on the rocker panel. That certainly will not hurt anything. Now the wonder is, did he
knock the toe end out or something?
Toe end out or something, yeah.
Let's take a look at it again. Coming off turn 2 down the backstretch is where the initial contact occurred right there.
They go up in their left rear, and once again, Jarrett was still going to try to go on the inside, and Earnhardt came down, so they made contact twice.
imagine two Dales there a little bit concerned about each other at that point.
Here's Mark Martin, followed by Jeff Burton and Sterling Marlin. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th right there.
And Doyle Ford is desperately trying to tell those cars to get out of the way. A moment ago, they got together coming off turn 2, and they really have slowed down Mark Martin and Jeff Burton's progress. And here's Ricky Rudd. Comes right up on the back bumper of Dale Jarrett.
Third and fourth here.
Rudd is really getting off of turn 4 a little bit better than Dale Jarrett is. Gets a good bite coming off of there.
Apparently both Dales are saying no harm, no foul there on that incident on the backstretch. Maybe a little bit of a foul, but no harm to either car. Oh, and look at Rudd come right up on Mark Martin.
That's Dale Jarrett.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It kind of looks like Mark Martin's onboard camera, but it isn't.
There's Mark Martin.
That's right. As you look back at his teammate, Jeff Burton.
Jeff got a pretty good run here. Nope.
And the 4 cars pulling up on the outside of Jeff Burton.
Terry Labonte's in this mix also. And so is Rick Mast.
While we're watching all that, Derek Cook came back out on the track.
Terry Labonte, his only win so far in '96 was here in the spring. Although he's only 81 points behind in the standings. Bill has more on the 5 car. Bill?
Bob, during that last caution, I talked to Terry's crew chief, Garrett Dehart. He says the car is fine, the driver's fine. In fact, they're running as fast as the leader. They got a little bit behind, and track position is killing them. They're getting held up by lap car after lap car, but the 5 car is strong, and they envision him going closer to the front as he gets closer to the finish.
There's nobody that's more patient than Terry Labonte. He is that's why he's so good on a racetrack like this. You got to have a lot of patience, not abuse those tires or the car, and he knows just how hard he can run it and not put too much abuse on it.
Terry has 5 top 5 finishes in the 7 short track races we've had this year. There you see nobody is officially listed as out of the race. As Ned told you, Derek Cope just went back onto the racetrack, and so all 37 cars, are they still running? I don't believe anybody's behind the wall right now.
Yeah, I think they're all out there, and 15 of them are still on the lead lap.
How about that? And there's only 115 laps to go. There's the interval between the leader, Jeff Gordon, and second place, Dale Earnhardt. Dale Jarrett is third, followed by Ricky Rudd and Mark Martin. .108 laps to go here in North Wilkesboro. Jeff Gordon, the leader of the race. Dale Earnhardt running in second spot. There is Dale Jarrett third. Rudd is fourth. In fifth position is Jeff Burton. In sixth is Terry Labonte. Seventh, Rick Mast. Eighth, Sterling Marlin.
This is onboard Kyle Petty's car.
Looks like we've had some damage to our camera there,
yes,
Benny.
We have. Let's see how it might have happened. There we see John Andretti getting some contact with the 87 car of Nemechek. Whoa! Nemechek goes sideways going down the corner. Looked like he was on a dirt track.
Yeah, Brett had to get on the brakes, and then Kyle had to get on the brakes. Everybody avoided spinning. Everything's okay. We're riding again with Kyle Petty, who is back in 33rd position, 5 laps down. Well, of course, everybody wants to win this final race here at North Wilkesboro. There is Wally Dallenbach with a flat left rear.
Man. Wally's had a tough day today. He's had several unscheduled pit stops. He's
back in 34th spot. 5 laps down now, is going to go at least one more down. This is on Kyle's car again. We'll see what happened to Wally.
Wow, that's what happened to our camera, I guess. Yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
I see. I thought we were going clear under Brett's car.
And Dale Earnhardt is caught back up to Jeff Gordon. Seems like the longer they run, Earnhardt's car is another one that gets better as the tires gets heated up.
Talking about drivers who won final races at tracks that are now off the schedule. Jeff Bodine at Nashville, Rusty Wallace at Riverside. And one guy has that distinction at 2 tracks. He won the final race in Ontario and the final race at Texas World Speedway. Wonder who that could be.
I don't know. I've heard him on television.
John Kernan, the trivia question is yours. If you win,
yes, what do I get?
I'll figure that out later. Who is it?
Tell him what he won, Bob. How about Benny Parsons, the professor?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, I've been reading my history.
How about that?
Yeah, congratulations, Benny. What'd I win, Bob? What'd I win?
You win, I don't know.
Oh, never mind.
Gordon has his hands full here with Earnhardt, and the 99 car is on the move also, we understand.
And here's another one that the longer they run on those tires, the better Jeff Burton gets.
Let's check out an on-track interval here. 1st and 5th. Whoa! Burton, did he hit the wall back there off too?
I missed it.
I believe he did.
I was looking at the on-track interval like I was supposed to, and guess what? I missed it.
Boy, that's 9/10 of a second he shaved off that interval.
Let's see if he comes off the second corner. Goes up and he did hit the wall.
Yes, he did.
Acting pretty good. As a matter of fact, that paint on the right rear tire is white and not yellow anymore.
There's Earnhardt. He was up beside of Gordon on the outside just a moment ago. Now he's following him by the Jeff Green car.
Coming up on Dave Marcus.
Whoops. Boy, look at Earnhardt zip right on in there.
Yes, sir.
And Dale Jarrett's right there as well.
Earnhardt goes to the lead.
They got held up in traffic there just for a little bit, and that allowed DJ to catch up with them.
Good 3-car battle here for the lead. Earnhardt running a slightly higher line down there in 1 and 2.
Gordon coming
Oh, here we go. Gordon coming back on the inside. Took a look.
Who? Jeff Gordon. Oh, I thought you said Jordan.
Gordon.
Okay.
No, Michael don't play this sport. He's from North Carolina. He ought to.
Yeah. Bet he's a race fan.
And once again.
Yep. Taking a look. But Earnhardt holds him off, Doc.
Well, what we expect the front 2 cars to do as far as pit strategy, they pitted on lap 260, meaning 140 laps to go. They're going to split that 140 lap mark in half and pit at 70 laps to make sure it's 70 laps and then 70 more on tires. So expect to see the 3 and 24 car pit at lap 330, which is about 23 laps from now.
There's Richard Childress. He's looking the situation over, giving communications and commands to his driver, Dale Earnhardt. Here's the 41 car of Ricky Craven and the 81 of Kenny Wallace.
Now, the 41 car is 2 laps down. He made an extra unscheduled pit stop under green, and he's in 22nd position. But the 81 car is in 10th position, so Kenny Wallace having a great run here today.
And here goes Gordon once again, takes the lead. Turn 3. He does not drift up the racetrack like Earnhardt wanted him to. Put the 24 DuPont car back in front.
Jeff has led 125 laps this afternoon.
Ricky Rudd is caught right back up to that crowd as well. He had dropped back about 2.5 seconds, but he's right there with them now.
Wally Dolan back. We saw him have the flat left rear a moment ago with those fresh tires. He's past Earnhardt. see Jeff Burton, Terry Labonte, Rick Mast. That's a battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
And that crowd is gaining on the leaders. Those 3 cars are gaining on the first 4 that are up front.
Sterling Marlin holds down the next position, 8th.
There's Earnhardt going at it again.
Yep. Oh!
They just won't let each other alone, will they?
I don't think Jeff's going to put up too much of an argument.
Yeah, he's going to lose second spot as Dale Jarrett has closed up on the back bumper. He challenges Gordon. Can't quite make it, can he?
Now, Jarrett's car's been cutting awfully good going into turn 1, but Gordon has the upper groove there that might get him a little better traction. He can't quite do it, but he might get him going into 3.
And Ricky Rudd is right in this mix, too.
Yeah.
Now, Jarrett pulls alongside of Jeff, but Gordon continues to hang on to that spot. Jarrett just can't wrestle it away from it. Look at Rudd, though.
He's going to try to pass Jarrett on the outside.
The greatest thing Jeff Gordon's ever heard in his life was that spotter said, clear.
We have a problem. It's Robert Presley in the wall, and the caution comes out at lap 312.
Bill Elliott trying to get a lap back, but he isn't going to be able to do it.
Boy, this is going to be a deal. They're going to go back racing with 80 laps to go. They're going to really have to baby those tires to make them last 80 laps.
They'll come in. They'll have to this time.
4th caution period of the afternoon. Robert Presley gets his car turned around in the right direction. And so with the pace car at the front of the field, the pits reopen, and here comes Earnhardt, Gordon, and others.
In fact, 15 will be coming in right now, all of those that are on the lead lap.
Let's go to John Kernan.
It'll be a 4-tire change and a chassis adjustment for Dale Jarrett, who's complaining that the car is just a little bit loose coming off the turn. So it will make the chassis adjustment on the right rear. Already coming around the left side. Let's go to Ricky Rudd's pit and Bill Weber.
Rudd wanted to go 65 laps, then stop, then 65. He's going to have 80-plus laps to finish this race now if it stays green. Right side's around. They'll come around to the left. No chassis adjustment. Having trouble on the right rear Rudd. Down to Jerry Punch.
Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt pitting nose to tail. What could be the final pit stop in Winston Cup Racing, this historic facility. They have gone down a half a pound air pressure in the 24 car. No adjustment on the 3. The 3 is down and away. 24 is side by side. They race to the end. And the 3 got him, guys.
Now Earnhardt is going to get out before everybody else. It was close, but Dale indeed will have the lead when we come back and when we go racing once again at North Wilkesboro under our 4th caution period of the afternoon. Haven't missed a lap yet. They just went green. Here they come down to complete the first lap under green. Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett are right there together.
Gordon's looking under Earnhardt as they come off of turn 2. He's got a nose up there.
And Jeff Gordon will go back into the lead. And here comes Dale Jarrett right behind him.
Well, the last time we see the 2 Dales together, they were bumping. See if Jarrett can make the pass this time.
Here's Jerry Punch.
Jeff Gordon wanted to get the lead as soon as the green came back out because Jeff told Ray, said when we get a few laps in our tires, I can't run the high groove off turn 4 and Earnhardt can. I'm concerned our tires may not last 80 laps. I know Earnhardt's will. We'll see how it plays out. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Best pit stop of the day for the 99 team of Jeff Burton, a little under 20 seconds. They're very confident they're going to be strong at the end of this race if it stays green. In fact, they think they're going to be the best car in the final 20 laps. Not the same story for Terry Labonte. The longer they go, the worse their car gets. Gary Dehart told me unless the chassis adjustment they made with wedge and air pressure works, Terry Labonte will not win here today. John Kernan.
No chassis adjustments or air pressure adjustments for Rick Mast, but a good pit stop picked him up a couple of spots to the 5th position. They are planning on running to the end without changing tires. They've been telling Rick to take care of the tires, take care of the tires. Kevin Hamlin says now that the sun, the clouds have come back over the sun, it's cooled down a little bit. That's similar to the way it was at the beginning of the race when they were pretty good on long runs. So they are hoping that the clouds stay here and the temperature stays down.
Jeff Burton flexing his biceps. He's taken 3rd from Dale Jarrett.
Hey, and that might be a bad indication for those guys up front. We've been talking all afternoon about how good his car is in long green flag runs. Yep. He's good here right now on the short runs. Yep. Boy, if it stays good after after those tires get hot, he might be tough.
We'll time the interval between first and third. Gordon and Jeff Burton. 1.04. Well, a little bit more, 1.05. Jeff has led 2 laps here. Now, Jeff Gordon has just locked up the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps.
For the umpteenth time this season.
Yeah. I think right now that Earnhardt is holding up Jeff Burton a little bit.
It's like Jeff may be going to take that second spot away from Earnhardt. Down the backstretch, yes, Jeff Burton goes to second. Burton had his best career finish at Richmond not too long ago. He finished third. That's his best career finish, so he is having the best race of his NASCAR Winston Cup career. He's now second, about 1.2 seconds behind Jeff Gordon.
See, right now the lead seems to be maintaining about the same amount between Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton.
We've seen some darn good races here, guys, but we have had a terrific race here this afternoon.
We really have had a great race here today.
Rusty's fallen back to 8th.
For some reason, Rusty has struggled. Who did he make contact with up in 3 and 4?
He and Rick Mass got together.
He and Rick Mass. Since then, he just doesn't seem to have the oomph that he had before.
Give a call to Michael Waltrip, who is right there in 9th position. Jerry?
For whatever reason, I talked to Robin Pemberton, Benny, and he said that the car just will not be consistent for him. Rusty said the car gets loose, they come in and make an adjustment, and the car gets too tight. Since that contact, whatever happened to the race car doesn't allow the chassis to respond as they'd like it to.
Michael Waltrip, the 9th spot, trying to close in on Rusty Wallace. And Mark Martin is back in 10th spot.
Yeah, Mark is struggling a little bit right now. He's been right up there in the top 5 all day long. Michael Waltrip was another of those that benefited way back there when Ricky Rudd did. He and Morgan Shepherd both, we had seen them get lapped. And I'm sure there's some fans out there watching, well, how did those guys get back in the lead lap? They made early pit stops under green, ran faster than the leaders were running, and then when the leaders made their pit stops, that put them back in the lead lap. And then the caution came out.
Mark Martin had his first NASCAR Winston Cup start here in April of 1981, finished 27th. He has 10 straight top 10 finishes. Mark Martin, the Valvoline Ford. As you watch another Napa field summary showing 15 cars on the lead lap. Bill Elliott, the first a lap down in 16th. Mark Martin looking for his first win of 1996. His best finish here in 1996 was at Sears Point in Michigan, second. And here is a battle for position between the 43 and the 75 and the 18.
And the 81. All those cars are racing for 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Another break with 63 laps to go. The laps are going by quickly here. Jeff Gordon right now in command of the Tyson Holly Farms 400. Jimmy Spencer remembering fond memories of North Wilkesboro. 1 pole, 1 top 5 finish. Jimmy Spencer right now is running in 17th position, a lap down. Back up front, it's Jeff Gordon continuing to lead Jeff Burton and Dale Earnhardt.
But that lead is shrinking, Bob. Jeff Burton has come into the picture there now in that 99 Ford. He is just every lap getting about a half a car length or so on him.
Here's a Budweiser race recap. Jeff Gordon leading 151 of the first 344 laps, 18 lead changes, 4 cautions, 29 laps, averaging a little over 95 miles an hour. Those who have led a lap include Gordon. He's picked up again the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. Hamilton, Wallace, Earnhardt, Martin, and Irvin, Rudd, and Burton have also led at least 1 lap. And normally here we would show you cars out of race. There are none. Everybody's still running.
You know, last year every car finished the race, didn't they?
Yep. 36 cars were running at the end of the race last year, and we started 37 this year, didn't we? So we may set a record this year, break the record from last year.
I mean, that's one problem that the leaders, Jeff Gordon, is having is traffic, because they've never seen traffic like this before. Every car is still on the racetrack. Gary Punch?
Every other lap, Ray Evernham tells his young driver, Jeff, save the tires. Do not spin the tires off the corner. Save those tires. Bill Weber?
Well, Jeff Burton's camp is extremely optimistic. They think this race begins in about 10 laps, and then they think they're going to be the strongest in the final 20. They've caught the 24. Now they got to figure out if they can get by him.
You saw Buddy Parrott there watching his driver, Jeff Burton, and as Ned has been telling you, Burton gets better as the run goes along here, the green flag runs, and he has now moved right up on the back of Jeff Gordon with 49 laps to go.
This traffic has also allowed Dale Earnhardt to get a little bit closer, and his car is not that bad on long run either.
Look at this incredible statistic for Jeff Gordon on the short tracks. He's been very large. 3 wins, 7 top 3 finishes, a 1.7 average finish, and has accumulated 157 more points on the short tracks than Terry Labonte.
Well, that is incredible.
It is.
We see 7 top 5 folks. We've only run 7 short track races.
That's right.
Or you'd have had more, I guess.
Yeah.
Been more races.
And the other statistic is that of all the races that Jeff Gordon has been running at the finish, his worst finish of the year is 7th. Now, he has had 5 DNFs, but his worst finish while he's running at the end of the race has been a 7th.
And we see Terry Labonte back in 5th spot. He's only a shade on 3.5 seconds behind the leader.
And Dale Earnhardt is creeping up on him once again.
And Dale Earnhardt is creeping up. You're right.
So you see Terry Labonte there. He's just gradually creeping up there on him, too.
Lost about a half second, though. Went from 3.4 to 3.9 seconds behind.
This traffic he's running across right now is going to pose a problem for him. He will lose more time as he is not able to run around the racetrack the way he wants to run around. It will cost him some time.
And that's one of the reasons he closed in as close as he did, was because of this traffic that he's having to go through right now. The leaders went through it about 8 or 10 laps ago.
Boy, that 0 there next to laps led may not look very important, but it is. Boy, you would love to have 5 points for leading the race, but he has not been up front today. Now on top of the Miller Ford with Rusty Wallace, looking ahead to 8th place, Mark Martin.
And Mark Martin just passed Rusty Wallace for that 8th spot.
Gordon working traffic to the inside of Jeff Green. Here comes Jeff Burton. Jeff, and Jeff here.
That's a bunch of Jeffs.
Man.
Where's Bodine?
Uh-oh, he took a look.
Yeah, Jeff Burton is driving a very patient race there right now. He knows he has a good race car, and he's just waiting for a good opportunity, I think. He's not going to force it. Now let's see if Jeff Green, he's lets Earnhardt by. Oh, yeah, he just backs off the gas. Yep. Get on by, boss man.
Go after him, boss.
Of course, Jeff drives Earnhardt's Busch car this year. Steve Park will drive it next year. And Jeff Green will drive a Busch car for the Bechtels. Same people that owns the car number 29 he's driving today.
Jeff Burton 16th in the points coming into this race, while Jeff Gordon, of course, is atop the point standings. Here in the spring, Jeff Burton finished in 29th position, but Jeff Burton is in 2nd right now behind Jeff Gordon. Back with more in just a moment. Welcome back to ESPN Speed World live coverage of the Tyson Holly Farms 400 from North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Carolina. Being brought to you by Sears Tire and Auto Centers. By the Miller Brewing Company, proud sponsor of the Miller race team. We race for beer. And by Firestone, America's tire since 1900. 367 laps are in the books. You're looking at the leader of the race, Jeff Gordon, car number 24, and he has now begun to pull away from Jeff Burton, who's running 2nd. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, it's been a good day for these guys down here in Jeff Burton's pit. They had a handling problem. The car was just a little bit loose a couple of stops ago. So when they brought it in, they made an adjustment to try and tighten it up to make the car handle better. It didn't work. In fact, the car got worse. Then they caught the caution, came back in, put the car back to where it was, and they still believe this car will get better as the race goes along.
Slusen has lost a little bit of ground, though, to Jeff, hadn't he, in the last few laps, Ned?
Yes, he has, and Earnhardt might be gaining on him, as a matter of fact. Never see Dale, third place car in the 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet.
Well, they got 30 laps to go.
And there is the 4th place car of Dale Jarrett. Riding with Dale, there is the interval between 1st and 5th. Just 4.8 seconds separate the top 5.
And where is Jerry Labonte? There he is. He's running out of time.
And then where's the 6th place car? That would be Rick Mast. Rick, this set of tires don't seem to be running quite as strong for him as we saw earlier today. There he is, running in 6th place. He's got a pretty good lead on the 7th place car, which is Ricky Rudd.
There he is.
And Mark Martin seems to be closing in on Ricky Rudd.
Next car would be that of Rusty Wallace, Miller Ford.
Boy, Rusty was so strong there for a while. He could pass anybody and do anything with that car, but has faded of recent time.
Running 9th on the lead lap. And there's Bobby Hamilton, the STP Pontiac, who ran so strong earlier on.
There's Hillen, Darrell Waltrip, and then the 11th place car, Sterling Marlin.
Michael Waltrip will be the next car on the lead lap, running in 12th position. And there he is, up on the outside of the 8 car. Well, maybe the 8 car come on the inside of him. Made the pass.
Bud Strickland is 16th, a lap down. Michael Waltrip in 12th. Now who's 13th?
Bobby Labonte, the Interstate Batteries Chevrolet. 13th spot, still in the lead lap.
And finally, the last car on the lead lap is Morgan Shepherd in 75, Remington Arms. Ford?
We did have 15 until just a lap ago, and right behind, there's the leader, and right behind him is Kenny Wallace. Kenny just went a lap down. He is in 15th place. Gordon in heavy traffic here now, but he's weaving his way right on through it, and he's put a lap on Morgan Shepherd now. Shepherd in the 14th position.
And Dale Earnhardt has taken 2nd place from Jeff Burton.
He sure has.
Jerry?
The magic number for Earnhardt was lap 380. David Smith said nobody is better at saving that right rear tire than the guy driving the 3. Earnhardt hasn't said a word. The last time he was this quiet, he won the race at Atlanta. David said they know that Dale wants the final word on the final race in victory lane from Wilkesboro. He wants it very, very badly. He said with 20 to go, Dale's going to start using that right rear to the best he can to catch the 24.
So can Dale Earnhardt catch the leader, Jeff Gordon, in the last 20 laps of the race? Well, we'll take a break and be back to answer that in just a moment. The Tyson Holly Farms 400 in the closing laps, 384, third circuits complete. There is Dale Earnhardt, who is running in 2nd spot, trying to catch the leader of the race, Jeff Gordon. Dale Earnhardt is looking for his first top 5 in 12 races and looking for his 2nd top 10 since mid-season. That just does not sound like what you talk about when you talk about Dale Earnhardt.
He's had a very good run today. Right now, he's had some trouble getting through that traffic. He had closed up on the back of Jeff Gordon, but that traffic might have cost him his chance because he has lost several car lengths to Jeff Gordon.
Here's a battle for third. Dale Jarrett on the inside of Jeff Burton takes over the position.
We thought that Jeff Burton was going to be in a position to challenge to possibly win this race. The last time we had a first-time winner was last year, and that person was Ward Burton, his brother, who did not make the race here this weekend.
Won at Rockingham last fall.
Yep. So Dale Jarrett has moved into third now. He keeps his championship hopes alive. But there are only 4 races to go after this one. Our next NASCAR Winston Cup telecast will be at the final event of the year in Atlanta, Georgia.
There comes Rick Master, Hooters Pontiac. He's currently in 6th spot.
And there's the Western Auto mechanic of the race, Dan Laws. Congratulations to Dan. You're the winner of the Western Auto mechanic of the race.
They've done a good job today.
10 laps to go for our leader, as you can see on the pylon.
He's putting Michael Waltrip a lap down, the 13th place car. So now there are 12 on the lead. Make that 11 on the lead lap. Waltrip was in 12th. I don't know. It doesn't look like that Dale is gaining much ground on Jeff.
No, I think he's losing.
Looks like Dale Jarrett may be gaining a little bit on Dale Earnhardt.
He is. And Jeff Gordon is pulling away from both of them.
6-car Mark Martin continuing on his march.
And the 43 of Bobby Hamilton is battling him for the 8th position. Still no cars out of the race. 37 are still running.
As a matter of fact, 43 is trying to pass Mark Martin. I implied that Mark was trying to pass the 43. That's not correct. As a matter of fact, Ricky Rudd just a few laps ago passed Mark Martin. And Hamilton gets that Pontiac right on 40.
Whoa! It's a rear view mirror full of petty blue.
And Mark says, go ahead, Bobby.
Good job, clear.
Here comes Rusty Wallace.
Bobby Hamilton moves to 8th. Mark Martin back to 9th. There's Jeff. And it's a 1.76 second advantage for Jeff Gordon over Dale Earnhardt.
Boy, all of them are getting, these tires have been on there quite a while now. You have to be very careful. Not to slip and slide too much.
Closing in right now, Dale Earnhardt, but Jeff Gordon may be just taking it easy, trying to see the checkered flag. There's only 4.5 laps to go.
We're approaching the time when NASCAR Winston Cup racing ends at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina.
Who's going to be the last man to win here? Got a good indication right now.
Less than 4 laps to go, 3.5 to go, and Jeff Gordon has a 1.5 second advantage on Dale Earnhardt.
You know, after the Craftsman truck race yesterday, it rained, but the cars did get a few laps of practice, and those few laps of practice were very valuable for Jeff Gordon. He ran 15 laps in practice, and the car quit. Some debris got in the carburetor and blocked it off. It would not run at all. If that had happened in the race, he would have not been around. He's been able to run 15 laps and be sitting in the garage area.
Battle for 4th position here as Terry Labonte tries to take it from Jeff Burton.
Boy, Jeff Burton's car has really gone away here in this latter part of this run.
Coming down, Jeff Gordon in corner number 4 now. Here he is at the line, and the white flag comes out for Jeff Gordon. Less than 5/8 of a mile to go. And the drop of the checkered flag here at North Wilkesboro brings down the final curtain of NASCAR Winston Cup racing. From the first race, October 16th, 1949, won by Bob Block. The victory here to Jeff Gordon on September 29th, 1996. Jeff Gordon wins the final race at North Wilkesboro, the Tyson Holly Farms 400. It is his 10th win of the season. That equals the most wins in a season in the 1990s. Bill Weber.
Rick Hendrick, you have a tough job. You know 2 of your cars aren't going to win on race day, but this one and its driver have won 10 times.
It's been an unbelievable year. You know, the guys that work so hard, and I just hope we can stay down this points chase and win it for all our sponsors and for our guys.
How about your driver?
He's unbelievable, isn't he?
He got his name in the North Wilkesboro record book. He's the last guy that'll win a Winston Cup race here, and he'd never been there before.
You know, this place has been awful good to us. We won a lot of races up here.
That's Rick Hendrick, the winning car owner here at North Wilkesboro.
It's his 6th win here, and Jeff Gordon is the 38th driver to take the checkered flag and win an event at this storied old facility in the Brushy Mountains of North Carolina. We'll be right back. Back at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, the winning car of Jeff Gordon has been raised onto the victory platform. 2nd place goes to Dale Earnhardt. Here's John Kernan.
Well, Dale Earnhardt talking to all the media. We'll listen in for a second, then we'll get our question in.
Wilkesboro, but you know, the tires, I just punished the heck out of him trying to run him down. I was doing some good there, and then I got caught up in some lap traffic, but you know, that's the name of the game, is be there where you got to be there, and we weren't there at the end.
How about you got a special day tomorrow?
Yeah, we got an open house at Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet. We're going to have a big day down there, so running good today pumps everybody up for tomorrow.
But Dale, considering the last few weeks you've gone 12 races without a top 5, and then boom, this has to feel almost like a victory, doesn't it?
Well, it does. It feels real good. The team needed this. They needed a shot in the arm, and things to turn around. And I can't say enough for them for this race car. They did a good job, and we really had to take it easy on these tires. The tires were a factor, and racetrack's so wore out, and definitely wasn't going to get a new pavement for this last race. So we just had to take it easy on the tires and do the best we could, and manage the tires is what it was all about.
That's Dale Earnhardt, his 2nd place finish. Let's go to the McDonald's Winner's Circle interview with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Gordon getting ready to climb out of the car. They have been racing at North Wilkesboro Speedway 22 years when Jeff Gordon was born in 1971. And now he gets his first win in the final at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Rick Hendrick is Carl ready to congratulate him. What an emotional moment here. A young man who is charged to lead this sport in the next century writes the final chapter on a racetrack that was there at NASCAR's beginning. Here is Jeff Gordon out of the race car. Well, Jeffrey, what an effort as Brooke comes in and gets a big kiss from her husband. Jeff, what an outstanding effort today.
Man, I tell you what, this team is awesome, awesome. You know, we just tried to save tires all day long, and I had to change my line on that last set of tires. I learned a little something from Dale Earnhardt today. You know, I'm always learning something from him, and he had a little bit better line around there, saving tires a little bit better. I could be real quick on new tires, but it'd fade on the long runs. And man, I tell you what, the guys just did a great job of adjusting that last set of tires, and it was perfect. You know, again, want to thank DuPont Automotive Finishes, Quaker State, Coca-Cola. It was a great day. The Lord was certainly with us today.
I heard you tell Ray when that last pit stop came, you're not sure you could run with Earnhardt in the high line off turn 4, but when the green came out, you took off.
Well, you know what happened was I had such a good start there, and the tires came in so quick that I got out there and I got to adjust my line and start searching. And you know, right there before we came in, actually, for that last pit stop on tires, I adjusted my line to see if I liked that outside off of 4, and I started arching a little bit higher coming into 1 and shooting straight off of 2, and man, did it work. You know, Burton come up on us, and I was trying to save it and not push it too hard, but then once we got in traffic, man, that thing was just awesome.
You've been in the record books for a lot of reasons. You're going to be in the record book for the winner, the final winner at Winston Cup Racing at the Wilkesboro Raceway. That's got to be special.
Such a special. That's why I'm so excited, because I mean, this is North Wilkesboro. I'm not supposed to win at North Wilkesboro and Martinsville. I don't know what's going on. It's been crazy this year, but to be the last race, Winston Cup race, it's going to be here. You know, it's like you feel sorry, but at the same time, you know, you're elated to go down in history in the record books. And I think these fans saw a great show today. That was one heck of a race all the way to the finish.
A special young man wins a special race, the final one at a special place. Bob?
Jeff, we need a thumbs up for
Jeff Gordon, the 1995 NASCAR Winston Cup champion, has been named third quarter nominee for the NASCAR True Value Man of the Year award. He has just won his third in a row and fourth in the last 5 races. Jeff Gordon, Victory Lane, certainly seems to be a place he's familiar with. Now, the True Value Man of the Year award is based on a combination of on-track and off-track community involvement. The winner will receive $50,000. It'll be split between the driver and his favorite charity. Jeff is involved in several charitable efforts, including the Leukemia Society of America, the McLeod Addictive Diseases Center, Easter Seals, and the National Safety Awareness. So Jeff Gordon, a third quarter finalist for the True Value Man of the Year award. Back with more in a moment. ESPN Speed World today has presented the final race from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina Speedway, won by Jeff Gordon. Being presented by Valvoline Durablend, the #1 selling semi-synthetic motor oil. By Chevrolet, one car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR, genuine Chevrolet. And by the NASCAR Story. To order, call 800-71-NASCAR. Well, you can see there's a lot of emotion, not only in the garage and the pit area, but in the stands as we say goodbye to North Wilkesboro. The winners in the final weekend, well, Ted Musgrave was our first winner as he won the Busch Pole Award here on Friday in a session that was interrupted by rain. Yesterday, Mark Martin drove to victory in the Lowe's 250, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And today, in the Holly Farms 400, it was Jeff Gordon writing his name into the record books. We've had a lot of special moments here in these parts of North Carolina, but perhaps none more special than it occurred 1 year ago today when a driver came back from terrible injuries here at North Wilkesboro.
The easiest answer to that is my comeback. It was rather exciting just being back and going to the racetrack. I actually raced the Winston Cup car and the truck all at the same time. And I did a lot of testing at Wilkesboro. It was an exciting day. Probably the thing that really sticks out to my mind is when we went out to qualify. I could see people standing up, but it was unbelievable because I could hear the fans cheering me on when I was qualifying. I mean, the noise and the motor and everything didn't drown the fans out.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro. Here are the unofficial results. The bullets indicate drivers that led a lap, and the double bullets there by Jeff Gordon's name indicates that he led the most laps. And there were 11 cars on the lead lap when the checkered flag dropped on this historic facility. Gentlemen?
See, that's Strickland back in 16th, car down, and then the fellas 2 laps down. And look at all the folks still sitting in the grandstand, not wanting to go home.
Yeah, there certainly isn't the rush out of the grandstands that we've seen here in the past. Everybody wants to take a final look and take a deep breath and think of the good times that have occurred here at North Wilkesboro.
And every car finished the race here today, and here are the points after today's race.
And the advantage now up to 111, Jeff Gordon over Terry Labonte. Jerry Punch, final thoughts.
Unbelievable, the history of this racetrack, and what a young man who leads us into the next century. He's the bright young star. He puts the final period, the final chapter. And behind me as Victory Lane continues, and you look in the stands, we were talking down here about the people who want to savor these last moments and just don't want to leave. Bill?
A veteran track, but a lot of young stars. Jeff Gordon, Victory Lane, good run for Jeff Burton. I think as we go ahead to some of these new tracks, you'll see more and more of the rising stars. We'll miss tracks like North Wilkesboro, but we'll enjoy watching the young stars race into tomorrow. John?
Bill, I think we're going to miss the type of racing that we see here at the track, the short tracks like North Wilkesboro. The race we had today, a great race throughout. You had 4 or 5 cars throughout the race battling each other. I'm not so sure we're going to see that on some of those bigger tracks, and it makes me kind of sad that Wilkesboro is going away because I've been coming here maybe not as long as Benny Parsons or Ned or Jerry, but since the early 80s, and I really have enjoyed it. Bob?
All right, well, next Saturday we will be in Sears Point Raceway, Sonoma, California, or some of us will be, for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series at Cragen NASCAR race at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Our next telecast will be on Sunday, November 10th, the final race of the 1996 NASCAR Winston Cup season, the Napa 500 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Coming up next here on ESPN will be the baseball game between the Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well, we've been talking about the special memories all race long, and it's now time to take a look back at, for the final time, at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Enoch Staley loved racing and brought to North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, a racetrack which through the years established a solid relationship with Bill France and NASCAR. The 5/8 mile speedway, which was originally dirt, gave race fans thrills and excitement like they had never seen before. They came from all over the Brushy Mountains to see the best that stock car racing had to offer. Drivers like Junior Johnson, a local hometown hero, who along with people like Hall of Fame mechanic Herb Knapp, won races both as a driver and a car owner. In fact, North Wilkesboro became known as the track that Junior built.
For the 10th time this year, Darrell Waltrip wins a Grand National race.
Into turn number 3, Neil Bonnet still has the lead, but Darrell Waltrip is going to make one final bid to the inside. Now he looks low to the inside. Coming off the corner, he's not going to be able to do it. Neil Bonnet wins. Waltrip's second spot. Terry Gant wins the Holly Farms 400 at North Wilkesboro. And Terry Labonte wins his first Winston Cup race of 1987. He gives Junior Johnson another victory here at North Wilkesboro. Here comes the field down for the white flag. One more to go. Run is inside of Dale Earnhardt as they go into turn number 1, and both of them spin. North Wilkesboro Speedway, many memories for fans and drivers alike. Richard Petty has won more races here than anyone else and has helped build the tradition and history of this storied facility. 37 drivers until today had taken the checkered flag and won a race here at North Wilkesboro. Some of the real important names in NASCAR Winston Cup competition have taken the checkered flag here and won a race. And now into the record books goes the name of Jeff Gordon, the final winner of a NASCAR Winston Cup race at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina Speedway. We say farewell to a place that's given us years of enjoyment, of excitement and cheers. Thanks to all who have made our visits here very memorable. It's been fun. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.